Hi guys, how's it going? Today I want to talk to you about something that I'm very passionate about, and that is business and making money, and specifically an online business, which is what I currently have. In case you don't know, I am the owner of a residential door and window company. And how I got into that, I know it is so random. When I tell people, they're like, how did you get into that? So I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory and then kind of guide you on maybe how you can get started with an online business as well, the way I did with almost virtually like zero capital. So I'll get into it a little bit. But so my background is I'm a CPA. I went to school, I studied finance, and then I went to UCLA to get a certification program in accounting, got out, then went into public accounting. And what public accounting is, it's like accounting firms that work for companies. So we do the accounting, the auditing, the taxes for other companies. That's considered public accounting. Private accounting is when you actually go and work for a company and you do the accounting for that company within that business. So very different. So I went into public accounting. In order to get your CPA, you have to have a minimum of like 2,081 hours working under another CPA in order to even get your CPA license. That's one of the requirements. At least it used to be back in the day. I don't know about now. But anyway, so I went into public accounting. I needed the hours regardless. And I also knew that I wanted to get my license as just like something to do. I had a choice between getting my MBA or my CPA license. And I got a lot of advice that like a CPA is also extremely good to have. And when you go and apply for jobs online, a lot of the jobs I looked at said CPA or MBA required, meaning having a CPA was almost the equivalent of having an MBA. So I thought, okay, let me just go get my CPA. And why you might want to get a CPA over an MBA is because it can be faster. It depends. Depends how long it takes you to actually finish the exams. Can be faster, can be cheaper. Where an MBA can cost several $100,000, a CPA will cost you maybe $10,000. Again, I did this like a long time ago, so I don't know about the rules right now. I did this, I think I got licensed officially in 2014. Okay, so everything I'm saying is related to like the 2014 era. Anyway, so I wanted to do the responsible thing and do something that was under my belt that gave me stability that I knew I could always fall back on, and that was going to be a valuable thing in society. So I decided to just get the CPA. Took me about 3 years in total to get fully licensed, and that's a whole other story for another day. I won't get into that right now. But so I got my CPA license, I started working. I was not that great at it. Like the concepts and just honestly working for someone is just not my jam. It's not my cup of tea. I guess I just don't do well under authority. Like I don't know what it is. I'm an Aries, I'm Persian. I don't know if any of that has anything to do with it, but I just I wanted to play. I mean, that's really like the honest truth is I wanted to play and I don't I don't know, I just wasn't in the right mindset. So it wasn't really for me. It wasn't really my personality. Anyway, I didn't do very well in general with it. Um, so I eventually left and went back to private accounting at some point. I'm skipping actually a whole lot. A lot happened in between. But the point is, I I didn't like it. I didn't like the private accounting. I didn't like the public accounting. Just accounting in general, working for someone. it like went against every grain in my body. Like I knew I was meant to be a business owner. Like I am meant to be a business owner because I know that I have so much energy. I can work till like 2 in the morning as long as it's for myself. I have that kind of energy. If you're aware of human design, I'm a generator. So I just have a lot of energy to put towards my own business. I could literally work on my own business for hours upon hours upon hours and never get tired. It's just like when you're in alignment with what you're doing, like the energy just comes and it just feels so good knowing that like all the steps I'm taking is for myself. There's just something about that. So if this is resonating with you, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you in the same place? Um, anyway, so I had dabbled in selling doors. Why? Because my family was in this business too. And it's not a family business. It's not like we have one business and the whole family just works for this one business. I wish that was the case, but it's not. We're super fragmented. Everyone kind of has their own niche that they focus on. And, but everyone does it. Like we all have our own business and we are competitors of each other, but we also help each other out when need be. So I was being encouraged by my family to get into this business. So I did. And I only went in for like 5 months. I had orders within that five months. I was purchasing the door from a manufacturer. And in that process, my manufacturer basically started to fail me. And so what ended up happening is I had to literally be the manufacturer. Luckily, I know where they were. I had access to them. So I would literally, with my husband at the time, we would like drive to Mexico, go to the supply shop, buy the supplies, bring them to the factory, give them to the workers. We would literally pay the workers and say, listen, these orders are ours. Like, we need you to make these doors ASAP. Like, we need them done. If you want to get paid, we will pay you. So here's the supplies, here's money. Please work on our doors. And they did. And that is how I was able to complete my orders and get them done and ship them to my customers. And I mean, I even had one case where this giant, maybe 10-foot tall door like fell and it broke and it was like a disaster. And anyway, long story, maybe for another day. But the point is, I did that. And because I was having like these supply chain issues, I just stopped taking any new orders. I was like, let me just focus on finishing these orders that I have. I want to obviously deliver a really great product. I don't ever want any of my customers to be upset with me. I believe 100% in customer service, and the customer comes first. So I got my orders done. I shipped it out. Everyone was happy. That was fine. But then I stopped. Like I was very traumatized by that whole experience because um, on one of the visits to Mexico, they actually like pulled my ex-husband into customs. It was just like, oh, this ordeal. I was like crying. So it was a very traumatic experience. I'm happy it was over. It was really fun and traumatic at the same time. And it made for a great story. Anyway, so that put an end to me selling doors. Went back into accounting. This is when I went back. Again, wasn't too happy. And then I started working for a company that was specifically for uh, like events. They actually held events. And that's when COVID hit. So, like all of that combined, I basically I got let go. And I decided, you know what, like I just think now is the time. Like I'm not working there. I did the whole accounting thing. I know Doors makes money because I was profitable. In the 5 months that I did it, I made enough money to basically pay for like the remodel of my house. And so I did that. And I'm like, you know what? I know that this works. There's a demand for it. Why don't I just get back into it? And I did. So on my birthday, I announced to all my friends and my family, and this is like right March of 2020. So right when COVID was starting, no one was having birthday parties. So my birthday party was like over Zoom, and I announced to all my friends and family that I'm starting this business. And yeah, so I did. I launched my company on my birthday in 2020, and it's been what, 4.5, 5 years, 5.5 years, 5 years. And yeah, still going strong. I love it. So anyway, the point is that I want to now relay what you can take from this experience and how you can start thinking about maybe starting your own business and what are the high level things to start thinking about and how you can kind of get this going. And so this is just going to be like one little tiny resource. Of course, there are so many other resources that will like explain things step by step, but this is just going to be like a super high level thing and like little things that you should kind of look out for and start thinking about. Basically, so the first thing is like start to kind of think about your particular niche and how to come up with a niche. I would personally, if I could go back, because I've had other online businesses, and if I could go back in time and redo all of that, what would I do differently? I would think about a niche for something that you are actually not necessarily like you don't have to be super passionate about it. Like you don't have to be passionate about pens or you don't have to be passionate about doors. You just have to be passionate enough to want to put the steps one foot in front of the other and passionate enough about it to talk about it, to potentially one day you will be creating content around it. And I kind of recommend it be something that you can physically hold and touch and small enough that you can actually have in your home. And bonus points if it's something that you could potentially even use every day in your life. Like this pen, for example. Like I can use this pen every single day. I could probably create a lot of content around this. So that's where I would start. And the reason being is because when you have a product that you can actually use and hold, you can go around and create content all over using your phone, using whatever it is you have. Now, with doors, think about it, it's a little different. I don't have access to my own product. My own product is somewhere else. I live in an apartment. I literally never get to touch and experience my own product because it comes in and then it gets shipped out to the customer. I never touch it. I never see it in person. It's very weird, but I so desperately wish I could. I really want to. So sometimes I do wish that I did have a product that at least I could see and touch. Well, now I do. I'm sure you know what I'm going to talk about because I talk about it all the time. I finally have my own physical product that I sell and I can touch and I can hold and I can talk about. And yes, I ended up writing a book. I'm sure you guys already know. I will always link it in the description box, so you'll always be able to pick up a copy. But yeah, now it's really cool because I have a product and I can talk about it and I can create videos and content and so many cool things with it. And so this is another really cool thing that I'm excited about. And another thing you want to think about is not only do you want a product that you can touch and hold and, show and whatever, but also think about a product or a niche where you could come out with complementary products alongside of it. So, for example, let's say you're selling this pen. Maybe you could come out with different colors. You could come out with like, a cup holder for your pens, like a nice one, not like using your makeshift like glass cup that I use in my hat. Like come out with like an actual nice cup holder. I don't know, maybe pencils, maybe erasers to go with it, maybe highlighters, whatever it is. Like if you're in that space of writing materials. So the point is, think of something that you could potentially one day, and not right now, you're just going to come out with the one product, but eventually expand to other products, something small, bonus points if it's lightweight. I mean, can't stress that enough. So the smaller and the more lightweight it is, the better. And a third, like, really awesome tidbit that if you can figure out is if it's a consumable, meaning it's something that they're going to need to renew and buy again and again and again. I'll give you an example of something that's maybe not. For example, like I have this gua sha thing, right? Um, Virtually this will never go bad. This is never going to go bad. I could probably use this for the rest of my life and never need to buy another one. So I would not consider this a consumable. However, let's say you were to come up with your own serum that goes with the gua sha. Now that serum has become a consumable. Why? Because they're going to use the bottle, they're going to finish it, and guess what? They're going to want to buy another one. So that's the difference. But now I do think that that's a great business. Even if this is not a consumable, you can add a complementary product that is a consumable. Um, think about it this way. Let's say you come out with like super fancy pens that are like metal and engraved. Maybe you go into like customized pens for people and you sell it on, oops, sorry guys, my phone. Let's say you come up with like a fancy pen and you put it on Etsy and it's custom pens, right? Well, what you could do is you can sell the fillable like in the cartridge or whatever this is on the inside. Okay, so maybe you sell those and that's the consumable. Okay. So again, I will recap that. So things to look out for when you're doing an online business or product is number one, small. Number two, keep it lightweight. And bonus points if you can figure out how to make it a consumable or at least a complementary consumable product that goes with it. Okay. Um, Now if you're gonna go that route, I do recommend that as like your first product for sure. I think it's great. I think it's that way, like it's easy to fix if like things get messed up. If you're considering, I just want to throw this out there, if you are considering a high ticket item. So my product is a high ticket item because it costs money and it's not something I can store in my own home. Like I need outside assistance, I need third party vendors, I need a warehouse, I need all of that. So be careful of that. When you're thinking about an online product, be very careful of like a high ticket item, especially if it's like a big item like that. In case you were thinking about doors or something like doors, like a big item like that, things to look out for is obviously storage. Where are you going to store it? Number two, how are you going to test out the product? How are you going to um, make sure that the quality is good? Now, in my case, I was a little lucky because I had a family who had a warehouse, who had employees with forklifts and this and that. And um, at least I had them as like a backup plan. And I am so grateful that I have them as a backup because they do help me when I need it. Like sometimes emergencies happen and I need them to help me, and they're always there for me no matter what. I, but I will say I did start this business with barely any, if not if any capital. And I only used my family's infrastructure for the first two doors. After the first two doors, I actually got all my own people, my own warehouse, my own everything. But for the first two doors, so the how I did this without any capital, let me back up a little. How I did it without any capital is I actually listed the item on eBay and I sold it. And I told the customer that this is a custom door and it's going to take 12 to 16 weeks to get it. And she was fine with it because she found me on eBay and she called me direct. So that's how I sold my first door. I didn't even have the product. I just, she found me. I had a website, called me, ordered the door. I told her it was going to take X amount of time, and that was it. So you could do that, um, where you kind of like use eBay's platform to kind of get your name out there. But be careful with that because if they actually try to buy it, like you need to have the product. So, be very careful of that too. Um, Luckily now I have inventory. So if people try to buy my door on eBay, I have it ready to go. So that's one thing to know about high ticket is just be a little careful. You kind of need a little bit of backing. You need a little bit of support. You need or capital of your own because you're going to need warehouse space. You're going to need people, employees, forklifts, and those things, you can hire a third party to do it for you. So it's not like I'm saying you have to have your own employees. No, you can hire third party companies that will manage that whole thing for you, that will collect your shipments, that will ship your product out for you. So you never have to touch it. Um, yeah. So a little bit about high tickets. Just want to review. What else do we need to talk about? Uh, okay. You might want to also consider, so I'm going to talk about the flow of how things should go. Is number one, start thinking about the niche, think about what you could possibly sell that is small, lightweight, and something you can incorporate into your life and create content with easily. When you kind of have that in mind, I would actually turn to the internet to for this portion of it in how to actually pick the product because there is a method to pick. You shouldn't just go and blindly pick any product because number one, sometimes there isn't a demand for it. Number two, if you can start off with a product that already has a high demand, why not start there? And it's okay if there are other competitors of a product. In fact, it actually isn't such a bad thing if there are competitors of that product, especially if you can take it and then customize it and make it wow and make it even better than everyone else's. So you use the demand that already exists for the products that, have competitors, but then you add your own flavor and your twist and you make it better. And there are programs out there that will teach you how to pick a product. I personally, long time ago, my ex-husband and I, we invested in a company that like taught us and it worked for us. I don't know if they still do it. But there's so much free information online that you can check it out. So I definitely recommend turning to YouTube to start with and learn how to pick the product. Okay. But let's say like you did your research and now you know what you want to do. You know it's a good product, you know there's demand for it, you know that you can customize it and make it your own and make it even better, and there's like so many ways that you can improve it. How do you actually get started? So what you do is I would go to Alibaba and you want to like check off all of like the gold standard, the, you know, um it's like the approved list. So you want to make sure you toggle and have those only see products from those sellers, the ones that have actually been approved by Alibaba, meaning like someone has like been to their warehouse and like they're verified. That's what it's called. It's like verified sellers that you know they're legit. Someone has like been to their location and verified that they have their operation. So once you find, Alibaba, you want to go ahead and start emailing a bunch of them. Maybe email 20, 40, whatever. Email like 20 different suppliers. Be very clear with what you're looking for and maybe how many you want to start with, and basically get a quote from them. Then, when you get a quote, you want to negotiate, like bring it down to maybe like your top three, and then you start negotiating and you reject that price. And they'll probably come back with another price, and then you reject that price again, and they'll come back, and then you reject that price. And you do this 3 times. You do this 3 times until you get to, like your lowest quote. Okay. Then when you want to do that, sorry, I made a mistake. You probably want to do that, let's say with like 5 to 10. I don't know. However many you feel like you need to. Then narrow it down to like a few, maybe two, maybe three suppliers, or however many you have the budget for, and order samples from them. Get the samples. Find out about their packaging, if they're able to package it, if they're able to put on all the labels that you need to, because that's a whole other process. Is like they all need to have like their UPC or some kind of code, like a scannable code. Make sure that they can do all of that. If they can, go ahead and place your order. Now, while you're waiting for this shipment from your potential suppliers of the sample product, now you can go ahead and go to Fiverr. Okay? Go to Fiverr and start like you want to think about a name and now start to design the products around it. Sorry, the labels. Design like the packaging, what the packaging should look like. Um, And if you don't mind, sorry, I need to back up 1 second. One step before that is picking the name. Make sure that there's a website that's available in that name, a TikTok, an Instagram, whatever it is. Like, make sure all of that is available. Know what business name you're going with. Maybe secure the website and then go to Fiverr and then have them start designing the package and everything for you. Okay. So you kind of need the name in order for them to do that. So I'd go to Fiverr, create everything like the logo, the this, the that. And Fiverr is a great place to start. You can start cheap, and then make it better over time. So you get your design, you send that over. Oh, hold on to that. Okay. You're going to hold on to that. Once you get your products, you're going to review them and you're going to see which one you like. Test them out, figure out what quality you like. Hopefully, within that batch, you'll find something that you like. If you like it and the price is right, then go ahead and um, send them your design pack, like your package design that you just made on Fiverr, and then place your order. In the meantime, and even before, again, while you're waiting for your shipment to come in, because it does take time. Sometimes it could take up to like 45 days just to get this sample. You'll want to start thinking about like where are you going to store it, all the storage fees, who's going to distribute it for you? Is it going to be fulfilled by Amazon, or are you going to give it to a third-party warehouse to do that for you? Nowadays, I think that the general consensus is that everyone is going to third-party warehouses because Amazon fees are very expensive. At least that's what happened to us, is like we had our business on FBA and then it just got so expensive. Like they took up the price on us at the last minute. Like they already had our product. We had already paid all this money to ship our product to them, and now they took up the price on us. So we had no choice but to pay all this money just to take the product out of Amazon and store it at another like third party warehouse. So it's a lot. I mean, yes, it's fun. Yes, I'm painting a rosy picture. There's a lot to learn, but do I think it's worth it? 100%. 100%. And like I said, this is just a high level view of things to think about if you are thinking about a business. Because once we start, there's going to be so many things that are going to go wrong. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. Be prepared for that. And I'm just trying to give you some things that you can start thinking about now if you want to get into it and start planting the seed. Because I highly recommend some form of online business, like especially if you can do it remote, especially if you can literally make money in your sleep, why not? And I know for myself, there's so much more I could be doing. There's so many other complementary products that I could be adding into my door business. So that's something that I'm definitely going to be doing and incorporating. Um, yeah, so let me just check to see if I got everything. So yes, the platform, Amazon, third party word, order the product. Oh, once you are waiting for the product, you can start promoting it. You can use the images that you got from um, Fiverr to start creating some content around it. You can use your sample that you got from the factory to start creating content around it and start promoting it and garnering some hype around that before the product even gets there. And yeah, maybe you can even do like a pre-sale launch, something like that. You could also, there's two ways you could also do this. You could either start really small. If you start with a smaller quantity, your cost per item is going to be higher. Obviously, the suppliers will give you a bigger discount the more you order. So it's up to you and how much capital you have. If you just don't have that much money to get started with, then I recommend doing a small quantity, maybe like 100, 200 of your item. And if you have the time to ship it out yourself, you could do that. I don't know if I would recommend that to start with, but you could. Um, You could even just list them on eBay, actually. If you wanted to do it yourself, you could potentially just list them on eBay and see how you do, see how it sells, and then place a bigger order. But yeah, and you can also start running ads on it too. So the ads are good if you have like, I think, a higher quantity because who knows, like what if it goes viral and then you sell a bunch? And I've had so many things happen to us, like where we had an ad and we were supposed to only release a small quantity to be sold at like the 1.99, $1.99 price. And we accidentally like forgot to put the stop limit on it. So we accidentally sold our entire inventory that we had for $1.99. It was a whole ordeal and but a very valuable learning lesson. So I totally and fully expect those things to happen, and you should expect it too. Actually, you should have a cushion for that. You should have a small nest egg slash cushion for when shit hits the fan, because it will. It's life. It's guaranteed. But know that it's coming, expect it, be okay with it, be prepared. That's all it is. All right, guys. I hope that was helpful. I hope that didn't scare you, but I feel like if I can explain it in a short little video, you can do it. And it is so worth it. It is so worth the time and the effort to do it, yes, you may have to say no to going out with friends. Yes, you may have to say no to your family at times, but you're doing it for the betterment of everyone. If you feel good, if you are making money on the side, if you are making money while you sleep, why not? But it won't happen unless you actually put in the steps. Like you have to actually get over your BS and literally over your laziness too, because this is work. It is a little bit of work up front, but once you get the ball rolling and all of your systems are in place, like your ordering is in place, like your supplier is good, the product is good, you have your warehouse set, you have your logo and your packaging and your ad set up, then you're good to go. Like you know, you can just sell and enjoy and reap the benefits. But it is going to take a little bit of work up front, but I promise it's so worth it. So just do it, okay? Um, as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share it with someone who is thinking about starting a business. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.